Hi, I'm Kyle Mitchell with Whitaker Brothers, and this is a very special product. This is the Destroyit 2604. Now, this machine we have right here happens to be a crosscut model, but everything that I say is going to apply to the crosscut, the strip cut, and the high security models. All right, so let's talk about some of the things that don't necessarily show up on a spec sheet. What makes this one of our best sellers? I'll tell you. It gets 23 to 25 sheets per pass. It has an automatic oiler standard, and it's got a whole bunch of extra safety features. And at this price, you don't normally find a mid-range paper shredder that's going to have all of those features. And there's a combination of what you get and what you pay for it that makes it such a good deal. At up to 25 sheets per pass, this is speaking about the crosscut model, which is probably our most popular when you talk about commercial businesses. It's difficult to find that under $2,000, but MBM was able to do it. The automatic oiler is going to save you a ton of money. You don't have to trust anybody to take care of your equipment. It's going to do it for you. So I've already told you the 2604 is one of my favorite shredders, but let's talk about where it lands in the Destroyit lineup. So below it, you have the 2503. That is a machine where you lose about half your capacity, and you only save a little bit of money to do it. Not to mention, you also lose the automatic oiler. It is still a German-made shredder. It is still continuous duty motor, so it's a great product. But for just a little bit more money, you can have the 2604. I don't understand why anybody would buy the 2503. Now let's talk about the 4002. That one does have a few uses, a few features that the 2604 doesn't. For starters, and most importantly, it's got a 16-inch throat. That allows you to stuff paper in forwards, backwards, sideways, upside down, in a big mess, all collected, however you want to do it. That's the advantage of a 16-inch throat over what the 2604 offers you, which is a 10.25-inch throat. The 4002 also has a gigantic waste bin container. Very large, can hold a lot of shred. The 2604, it's no slouch, but it is not as big as the 4002. All right, so now we're up close and personal with the Destroyit 2604. I want to show you some of the more intimate features. Let's start with safety, okay? Because nobody likes to lose a finger to a shredder. And thanks to Destroyit, that's not going to happen. If you lift this up, it's going to stop itself immediately. You're not going to be able to shred anything. And that's the only way you'll be able to get your fingers into the cutting chamber. But I'm going to give you an example of it running live paper, and I'm going to pull up the safety shield. So I'll feed the paper in. When I pick up the shield, shredder stops. Will not work. I should close it, press power again, it goes right through. There are a whole bunch of other safety features though, and they're all going to be indicated right here. None of them are lit up right now except for the shield. But you've also got bin full. That's going to let you know when you've got too much shredded material inside the bin. And we've also got door open. Because there would be a way for you to reach under and touch the cutting head, so just another safety mechanism to make sure nobody hurts themselves. Completely OSHA compliant. I want you to pay very close attention to this right here. This is called the ECC meter, and it's going to tell you how close to jamming this paper shredder you are. So watch me when I put one sheet through. You get one green dot. Well, let's have a little more fun. This is about 15 sheets of paper. We got 3 green dots. Now, why is this important? This is important because you're paying for 23 to 25 sheets per pass. But if you're going to have a user who's too afraid to jam it, they're going to baby it along, feed it 5 or 7 sheets because they don't want to hear it stop, then you're not getting your money's worth. That's the importance of the ECC meter. It allows you to run this at as close to its capacity as possible without going over, making sure that you get the best shredder for your dollar. I can't begin to tell you how important this is because so many people are petrified of jamming their shredders. That's not something you're going to have to worry about with the Destroyit 2604. Next to the ECC meter, we have our automatic oiler indicators. We'll get into the automatic oiler a little bit more later, but this just basically tells you when you have oil in the machine or when you don't have oil in the machine. And finally, we've got the easy switch. This is very simple. You walk up to it, you know exactly what to do. You push that button, you turn the shredder off, push it, turn it on again. You push reverse, it pulses naturally, so you don't have to, it's just the best way to remove paper from the cutting heads. And there's one other invisible feature that is probably best covered here. And that is once this machine's been plugged in for a while and nobody's using it, nobody's fed any paper into it, it goes into an energy saving mode, a low energy mode in which it's using a very, very, very tiny amount of electricity, pretty much just to light that green light right there. And that's the extent of it. So you don't have to walk by this machine, turn it off all the time. It will go into a low energy mode so that you are not spending money while the shredder is not doing anything for you. Now, while you're taking a look in there, I also want to talk about the warranty a little bit more. On the strip cut and cross cut models, you've got a 3-year limited parts warranty. Again, unheard of in the industry. On the cutting shafts itself, lifetime, forever. For as long as you have that shredder, the integrity of the cutting shafts are guaranteed. On the high security models, things work a little bit differently, so you're going to want to call us and talk about that. Why not go with a larger size package that allows you to change out the oil once every maybe 6 months instead of every 1 month? So that's why we invented something called the gallon conversion kit. So if you'll look away for just one moment, I'm going to swap it out and show you what we can do. So here I've applied the gallon conversion automatic oiler kit. This is exclusive from Whittaker Brothers. You don't have to use it if you're tight on space. You can use the manufacturer's automatic oil container if you want to. But we like this because by a factor of 5, you're decreasing the frequency that you need to swap out the oil. That means more shredding, less worrying about the shredder, and ultimately that's the goal. You have a full gallon of oil to go through here, and depending on your volume, you're not going to have to address this very often at all. Now let's take a look at what's going on inside of the shredder. Now again, this video applies the strip cut, the cross cut, the high security version. They're all the exact same box with different cutting heads. This just happens to be the cross cut level 3 model. Now I've got this big plastic bin, and one of the great things about this is using a bag is really optional. It's a little bit cleaner in my opinion, but you don't have to. You could take this bin full of shred residue and dump it right into a dumpster if you wanted to. Your choice. But it's a way of saving a little bit of money on consumables if you choose to. Let's take a look at what the residue looks like. There we go. That is level 3. This is HIPAA and FACTA compliant. If this was the level 6 version of the shredder, this would be very tiny. My name is Kyle Mitchell with Whittaker Brothers. This has been the Destroyit 2604 strip cut, cross cut, and high security models all covered in one box. Hope you enjoyed this breakdown. We went a little bit more in depth, but it's easy to do that when we're talking to one of my favorite shredders out there. If you have any questions, find us on Twitter, Facebook, call us, email us, chat us. We will respond to anything. Thanks for watching.